Most of the rest of us don't know either. Plenty for us to talk about with my first two guests, two Labour MPs, Anna McMurrin and Stephen Kinnock. Thank you both very much for joining me. Where to begin? Let's begin with your reaction to the poll. Anna McMurrin, it looks like bad news for Labour. It's only one poll, I'm sure that's what you'll tell me. You disappointed to see the results?
Well, of course, yes. But, you know, don't believe everything you read in polls. The polls were particularly bad during the 2017 elections, and here I am. I wasn't supposed to win that.
The results for Labour are as bad as the second poll of our poll results of 2017.
Right.
So, as you say,
exactly.
Things changed.
And then I came and won it with a pretty big majority.
Okay. Is there a message for you in there, though?
I would say, though, that we had a particularly bad week last week, as we've all seen, and we need to learn from that. We need to move on. I'm very sad about those departures from those Labour MPs. We need to learn those lessons.
Okay. Are you thinking of leaving?
I'm not.
You're not going to?
Not at all.
Okay. Stephen Kinnock, are you likely to leave Labour?
Never in a million years.
Never in a million years.
Not going to happen.
No.
I believe that when you join the Labour Party, you don't join a faction or a wing of the party. You join the whole party.
Exactly.
We have a long tradition of debate in our party, differences of opinion, yes, but you've got to stay and fight for what you believe in.
Okay, we've got that on the record.
We're stronger together.
Thank you both for that. Stephen Kinnock, your reaction to the poll. Do you agree with Anna McMurrin that it's a message for what happened in last week, or is this something bigger, a bigger problem?
It's disappointing. We're up against the most divided and incompetent Tory government in living memory. We should be 20 points ahead in the polls, although I accept absolutely what Anna was saying, who believes opinion polls on anything these days, but we've got to learn the lessons. My view is we've got the right messages on the economy, on jobs, on rebalancing the British economy, but we need a stronger message on national security. I think we've got to be clearer on immigration, we've got to be clearer on Brexit, and if we get those pieces right, we've got a winning formula.
Before we move on from the poll, it's important to know that this is about Labour in Wales. Now, Welsh Labour had felt it was able to have the best of both worlds, to distance itself a bit from any criticism of the party up here and be its own beast. Has that broken down now, in your view, Stephen?
Well, what Welsh Labour shows us is the power of Labour in government. You know, when you look at what's happening in our communities, how they've managed to shelter us from some of the worst effects of austerity.
But also to be able to ride two horses, to be able to distance themselves from problems up here, but also enjoy the popularity.
Yeah, look, I mean, if there's a perception that we're deeply split in Westminster, that will seep through. We've got to staunch that flow. We've got to have a dialogue in our party which makes sure there's no more defections. Let's have a united Labour Party to get rid of this incompetent
Anna
Tory
McMurrin,
government.
do you think that the Welsh Labour strategy needs to be looked at again?
Well, I do think that. Well, I do think
away, doesn't it?
I do think that Brexit spans across the whole country. We know the damage that Brexit will wreak on our communities. Up and down the country, no matter what kind of Brexit that is. And I think that is a real issue that we need to address.
Let's talk Brexit then. You came from, earlier on you were at the PLP meeting,
yes.
You saw this change. I know that it's within the policy that was already there, but it's a change publicly, isn't it? Your thoughts?
Well, I'm really happy tonight to have heard Jeremy welcome that we're moving to that public vote. So to be putting his solution for Brexit on the table, if that fails, then moving straight to a public vote.
Are you clear it's the same sort of public vote that you want, though? Are you clear that it is that?
Well, that's what I asked tonight, and I'm hopeful that that is what we must see. We must have Remain as an option on the ballot. But you know, we have a weak Prime Minister who is governing in name only. She is running down the clock, and that leaves it wide open.
Okay.
That means we must move quickly to that public vote.
Stephen Kinnock, John Mann said earlier on that people in his constituency will never vote Labour again if it backs a referendum. Does that go for people in your constituency as well, who voted Leave very strongly?
I'm pleased that Parliament will finally get an opportunity to express its view on this, but I have to say I have deep reservations about the idea of a second referendum. I think it's deeply divisive. It will have a corrosive effect on the role and sovereignty of Parliament, and it's still quite unclear what our position is on what questions should be on the ballot. ballot paper. I don't agree with John that it's, you know, the end of the Labour Party if we back this. I think because in the end, you know, politics does go beyond Brexit, although it doesn't feel that way sometimes. But I do still have deep reservations about the idea of a second referendum.
Do you share or do you understand why some people, Labour Leave voters, might feel betrayed by this?
Well, do you know, I spoke in the PLP tonight, and what I said, that as a party, our voters, our supporters, our front bench all supported Remain, and they did that for a reason. They did that because we know that we are better off as part of the European Union, not out of it. That's why we need that public vote.
Can I have a quick word from each of you? Is Brexit Day, Article 50, going to be delayed?
I think so, yes.
Stephen Kinnock?
Yes, I think it will.
And
We've
I
got a
hope
good
so.
chance of passing the Cooper-Letwin amendment on Wednesday.
Cooper-Letwin, we didn't even get onto that.
We
We'll have to
didn't.
do it later on.
The Cooper-
I
Thank you
hope
both.
so. All night sitting Thursday night.
Oh, thank you both very much.